Well, the popularity of social websites means everybody is online, especially our kids. And so it's our job as parents to protect them no matter where they are. And so as part of our ongoing series, Virtual Violations, we're going to tell you what can be done about all of this. Our guest this morning, Steve Wire, Managing Director of Reputation Advocate and author of the book Violated Online. Hey, Steve, welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, last time we were talking about how businesses can be damaged by negative reviews and comments online. I want to talk about our kids a little bit because, we want to make sure that our family members stay safe, especially our kids, because they're vulnerable. They trust everybody, right?
Yep. Well, not only do our kids trust everybody, but I think we've really gotten to a point of being lulled into this sense of safety.
That's a great point.
We do it in our home. Nobody's looking. If I'm safe, my kids are safe. So we get lulled into this false sense of safety. And what you have to remember is our life is an open book online. When kids participate online, and everybody's doing it now, they're doing Facebook and Twitter and all these things, and they're posting pictures up, we forget that stuff stays there forever. Kids don't have any filters, and so that means if they're having a bad day, they're going to blog about it. If they are going through hormones, they're going to blog about it. That stuff's there a decade from now when they're going into college. You've got to kind of talk to your kids about putting a filter in place.
Parents have a responsibility.
Well, and that's the bottom line. I think a lot of parents put themselves in the situation of not being comfortable discussing this stuff, and so nothing is said, and kids don't have boundaries. We teach them not to go in the street, but we don't teach them to be careful about what pictures they put online. It's a train wreck waiting to happen.
What about filtering software? Because I think one of the things for my son, who's 10, who does not have Facebook, who does not have Twitter, and won't be getting it anytime soon, but for other children.
All those others out there.
All those others out there.
Well, here's the interesting thing about filtering software, and this is how fast we've progressed with technology. Parents put filtering software on their computers at home. Great idea. Then they buy their kids a smartphone.
Bad idea, because then you can't filter.
There's no filter. There's absolutely no filter.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I know that these users are getting younger and younger. I have 3 children. My youngest is 4. But as parents, we really do have to pay attention. They can be good kids, but make some really bad decisions sometimes.
And again, I think it's because we've gotten so comfortable as adults with smartphones, as an example. We've gotten so comfortable that the easy thing to do is to say, well, of course, my child can use this. And they're so intuitive, they know how to work them better than we do. But the challenge is we've got to put that question in there, what is age appropriate? And we don't think about age appropriateness. Facebook, this last year came out.
How old do you have to be to use Facebook?
Well, terms and conditions of sites. Facebook says you should be 13 years old to use Facebook. And from my perspective, I'm not even sure I'm comfortable with my 13-year-old using Facebook. But here's what's interesting. This last year they said 7.5 million kids that are using it in the United States are under 13, some of them as young as 10.
I'm not surprised. A lot of my friends' children are on Facebook, and I know they're really young. They're younger than 13.
So what do we do about that? Well, the first thing you want to do is if you've got a child on Facebook, you need to be their friend. And if they're not willing to let you be their friend,
my son's friend. I want to be his mother.
But you don't have to interact, but you have to be aware of what's going on. And if your child is not willing, and they're young, and they're not willing to let you be their friend, you have to ask why. What's going on Facebook that you don't want me to know about?
And as a parent, your job is to say, if I can't be your friend, you can't be on Facebook.
Yeah, and at some point, you define age appropriateness and you get unfriended.
Okay.
But,
Let's talk a little bit about YouTube. Because I see so many videos of these little kids doing all these cute little dances and singing and all this stuff on YouTube that their parents have posted.
And again, we're in mobile technology now, so videos are better quality on your phone than they are on a video camera. And you're posting all this content up. YouTube gets about 20 billion views a month.
A month?
A month. 20 billion a month. And I'll tell you what really comes back to haunt kids, particularly high school and college kids, our spring break, vacations, silliness that happens at the time seems like a great idea. I took the video on my phone, I've posted it up, everybody's laughing. 10 years from now, they're not going to be laughing. And I have parents that contact us that their kids are in the process of filling out college applications, and they're being rejected because of the content that's being found. Not only do employers look for online content, but universities now routinely go out before in the admission process.
Yeah.
So you've got to be aware, you've got to talk to your kids, you've got to help them understand that they have to find a filter, or a decade from now, they're going to deal with the ramifications.
You know, it's interesting. I always tell my children, don't talk to strangers. Keep looking forward. If somebody talks to you, you yell, whatever the case may be. But what's interesting is, as far as some of these websites, they're actually using GPS to track exactly where we are, exactly where we go.
Yeah.
I think that is so disturbing when it comes to our kids' safety.
And again, there's the positive side and there's the shadow side. The positive side is my daughter has a map on her phone and she never asks me for directions.
That's a good thing.
She can get anywhere.
Yeah.
Another good thing, I can actually figure out where my child is if the GPS is on. The disappointing and shadow side is so can other people. And so it's a double-edged sword. And again, what's the first step? You've got to be aware. You've got to think it through. There are times to turn GPS off.
I want to kind of wrap things up here with just about 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
What's the message? How can we best protect our kids?
Talk to them. Talk to them about everything. I think as parents, and I'm a parent, I think the place I get trapped most is being intimidated to bring this stuff up because I'm not comfortable about it. Well, if I'm not comfortable, how am I ever going to get an open dialogue going with my child? Jump out there, be bold, talk to your kids. Even if you don't know what you're talking about, it opens up that dialogue, and teach them to build filters in their life online.
I think that's great.
That's the best place you can start.
Great advice, because we teach them to build filters in real life. So now we've got to teach them to build filters in virtual life.
Yeah.
Welcome to the 21st century.
There you go. We're not going back.
We're not going back. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for coming back. We always appreciate having you on the show.
Yeah, thanks so much.
All right, it's been a great series with you, by the way.
Well, thank you.
All right. And if you'd like more information, simply visit the website reputationadvocate.com, where you can also order Steve's book. Once again, it's called Violated Online.